Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Continuing our discussion, throwing light on Ashtavakra Gita, as you might have already placed from these sessions, Ashtavakra is as though applying the final strokes on a painting. A painting is done, yet it may lack just few final strokes. That's what Ashtavakra is doing, presuming that we are the paintings which are ready. Then why take up such an advanced text? Can we reserve it for later time? Maybe we as paintings need to be developing more, or there must be first some more base coatings, and then alone final stroke should come. We may ask such a question, but then how long we postpone? Sometimes only when you have the final picture, then you will know where you stand and how can you reach towards it, how can you make few final leaps towards it. That's where, even though there is a particular method of studying of texts in Vedanta, when we look at our texts, sometimes we seem to be following an exactly opposite paradigm than Sri Krishna. Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita comes to Lord Krishna and says, I am utterly confused in life. I do not know what to do. I do not know what my duties are. I am utterly confused at this point of time in my life. Sri Krishna begins with the teachings of second chapter, which is like Ashtavakra Gita. If you are a new student of Vedanta, when you approach the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, suddenly it baffles. Suddenly, what is Nasato Vidyate Bhavaha? This, that Krishna is telling how to make sense of anything. But it is very important to see what the vision is. It may seem very lofty, it may seem high ideal, but yet something resonates in us. Why? Because that vision is not some philosophical conclusion, it is something to do with ourselves, our own true nature. This being so, the vision of Ashtavakra Gita also resonates with us. Ashtavakra Gita is said to be taught also in the context. Once Janaka had a dream. He was sleeping in the afternoon after the bhojanam. He had a dream in which he has lost his entire kingdom, and there has been a sort of an attack, and then he is running to a neighboring province or neighboring kingdom, and he is running in the forest, and then he falls down in the forest while he is running, and suddenly with the thud he wakes up from the dream. And then if we had such a dream, maybe we would have taken the water and gone for 3:30 tea, left behind the dream, whatever happened. But Janaka started questioning. He was deeply pondering. For a few days, he did not talk to anyone. So the court ministers got worried that our king is in a different state. So court ministers and other scholars decide that we should bring sage Ashtavakra to talk to King Janaka. So to King Janaka's court, Ashtavakra comes, and then he talks to Janaka and tell me what is it that you are going through. So Janaka says, I had this dream which is real. Me as a king ruling this entire kingdom in this position, is this real? Or in the dream where I had lost everything and running, that me, is that real? Which is real? The question is posed. Ashtavakra immediately answers Janaka saying, both are unreal. Both are unreal. You being in this position right now is as unreal as what you are in the dream. Let us try to appreciate it fundamentally. You see, whatever we are claiming to be right now, can this last forever? Just like in dream, that scene started and had an end in time, this whatever is happening, whatever phenomenon is happening in that, we have a particular name, form, position, everything is as temporary as a dream. Like I brought you the paradigm, in dream maybe it is 3 seconds or 3 minutes. In the Vyavaharika lifetime time scale, maybe it is 70 years or 60 years or during one's lifespan. That's all it lasts. So just as dream is temporary, our waking life is also equally temporary. That has to be recognized. Now, how does this understanding translate in our day-to-day life? Like I have been saying, there is no load of even Vyavaharika life that you are going to carry. You are just going to do what is to be done. Just as dream doesn't become a heavy, for most of the people. Some people are also equally concerned about dream. Here Ashtavakra is telling dream is as unreal as, waking is as unreal as dream. But for many people, dream is very real. If they dream something, they'll go to an astrologer and say, I had this dream, what should I do? An owl came in my dream, what should I do? King Cobra came in my dream. What should I do now? Is it inauspicious? Crow came in my dream, what should I do? So, what to do if people are attributing this level of reality to even dream, then to analyze the waking world becomes extremely problematic. So, we understand that waking life is temporal, thus I do not have to carry any load of it as I walk each and every day. So that is the freedom that we have, that we get through this knowledge, by understanding that. So we say freedom from Shariratraya, the physical body, subtle body and the causal body, as moksha. I would like to add, moksha is also freedom from 3 states. Freedom from total identification with the 3 states. What are the 3 states? Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Waking world, dream world, deep sleep. So, what a relief. What a relief. Now just compare yourself with a person for whom dreams are very real. Maybe, I suppose all of you must know 1 or 2 people from your childhood, at least somebody who is deeply concerned about the dreams. try to read more than what for it is. Somebody who gets scared of dreams and this, that. So, just as for you, there is no load of dreams. Whatever horrible the dream could be, or how much ever fascinating the dream could be, you let go and go on with your life, isn't it so? So similar is the attitude with the understanding and through the growth of Vedantic vision, that there is no load of the waking world, no load of Vyavaharika life at all. Whatever needs to be done is to be done, it will happen, and I have no load of waking world. So thus, when you have this kind of an attitude, one more beautiful attitude comes out of this is the neutrality. You do not have ragadvesha. What is the point of having ragadvesha on something which is not at all real in the first place? What is the point of having extreme likes and dislike towards something which in reality does not exist? Which in reality does not exist. If I ask you a question, do you like rabbit's horn? Do you like horn of the rabbit? Do you? Do you hate horns of the rabbit? Do you? No. In fact, we don't have an answer. There is no yes or no answer. Similarly, from the absolute standpoint, the world that we are talking about does not have any real existence. It has an existence based on our conceptions and words alone. So, what is the need to have any raga or dvesha for such a world? No agraha, no nigraha. There's no feeling or no thought that this has to be there only in this way. My life has to be there, has to happen only in this way. No agraha. Or should not happen in this way. No nigraha also. Just a neutral place to sail about the boat of life. So Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti is all the time taken to be just movie shows, as I said, that you sort of engage with it for time being for what it is, and then next moment it is forgotten. Next moment it is forgotten. So Upanishads and also the Puranic literature use the term Leela to explain the entire creation. Leela means what? Play. Just a play. There's no real reality to it. But during the time of play, if you are not aware, everything seems very real. Two kids are playing the house game. They bring few things and set up saying that this is my house. And two kids are playing, and then they're so involved, and one kid breaks something, so the other kid is crying or something because not even breaking, say they have organized some blocks. Yeah. Maybe an occasion if anybody else wants to check their cell phones. Two kids have assembled blocks, and one kid has broken it or changed the configuration. One kid gets affected and starts crying, and the parent comes and explains, "Oh, it is nothing. You see, this is just play. There is no win. There is no loss. If suppose the child loses a game, the child is affected. The parent comes and says, 'Oh, you know, this is just a play. This is not real.' There can be a second round. Maybe you will win next time. Even if you don't win, it's nothing. It's just a play. Because how do we say those things? Because we have a better understanding, better grasp of what is real. What is real. But the child, if it is engrossed in play, can never get it at that moment. So Ashtavakra is telling us, just as we as parents would have told the kids, this is just a play, don't get affected. Ashtavakra is also saying this entire creation in all its content is just a play. Is it so difficult to appreciate this fact when you look at this through this example? Should not be. Because one's Vyavaharika life is no different than two kids or a group of kids engaged in certain play. So that's what Ashtavakra again and again telling that, look at your own true real nature, it's Sat and Chit, ever present as a conscious witness. But if you get attached, or if you shift your identity from here, I, the Sat and Chit, towards any object, including the body, the confusion starts and all problems of life starts. You start paying attention to things which are silly, which are not at all to be paid attention to. So Pujya Swamiji used to wear the Angavastram like this, right? So he'll cover his head through the Angavastram. So in one of the lectures, public lecture somewhere he was giving, for some reason maybe it was shifting a little bit. So Swamiji adjusts it here and there. He used to adjust it a little bit. So one student was observing this. In the middle of the lecture, she went to him with a hairpin. So an example to show how we pay attention to most trivial things. Great Vedanta is being taught, but my attention is on the Guru Sangavastram shifting from here and there. Yeah, that's another joke on top of it. She doesn't know Swamiji doesn't have hair below. So, this is what happens in our life by paying attention to small little things which are of no use. We get engrossed in life and miss the boat. Miss the boat. So once there was a satsang happening, once there was a public event happening, and there were politicians, there were prominent people in the society, everybody were on the stage. And a sannyasi was also invited to be on that stage. So this Mahatma is also sitting on the stage along with other members. Now in public events, when a Mahatma, a sannyasi is being introduced, usually they tend to add many adjectives, this or that. Not only sannyasi, anybody is being introduced in a public event, they're trying to add some colory, flowery words to just make a point, I suppose. So that was being done, and a turn for this Mahatma to be introduced on the stage came, and the organizer took the mic and said, "This is a great gathering. We are so fortunate to have this sannyasi Mahatma with us, who is so great. He's so great because he has given up everything for the sake of Bhagavan, for the sake of Atma, for the sake of Bhagavan. Here is a person who has given up all small little things of life." Sannyasi, renunciate, right? He's given a family, this, that, everything for the sake of Bhagavan. So he's so great. Let us offer namaskarams to this person. They announced and everybody did namaskaram. So when it was this Swami's turn to talk, he took the mic and said, "In fact, my renunciation is nothing. I offer pranams to you because I gave up small little things for the sake of infinite. I gave up finite things for the sake of infinite. Your renunciation is bigger than mine because you have given up infinite for the sake of finite." So which renunciation is greater? In fact, the other renunciation is greater because they have given up infinite itself. So that happens in life. That happens in usual life, and that should not happen. We may never lose commitment to the infinite, never lose commitment for the truth. And this commitment is cognitive. People are afraid that if I have to pursue infinite, if I have to pursue Bhagavan, I have to give up my house, this, that. No, giving up is again cognitive. As I said in one of the meditations or sessions or reflection, the house is anyways in your name. The car is anyways in your name. The investments are anyways in your name. When that is anyways in legal terms are attributed to a name, so why carry that in the head? Why carry that in the head? So everything should have a place, and everything should be in its place. The place for money is the pocket, not the head. That's all. The place for securities are your reading table drawers or a cupboard, or wherever you place, not to be carried around in the head all the time. It seems odd. So, to come out of all identifications, all burdens, to be free from three states of experience is real freedom here and now. Moving further, verse 15. Chapter 15, verse number 7, on page 13. Vishvam spurati yatredam taranga iva sagare tattvameva na sandeha chinmurte vijvaro bhava. Ashtavakra is telling, Vishvam spurati yatredam tarangaiva sagare. Just as the waves rise in the ocean and merges back from this infinite consciousness, finite thoughts, finite objects, perceptions of people, sense perceptions, all of it rises just as waves and merges back to this infinite ocean of consciousness. You see, entire waking world is coming out and going back to I. A personality is coming out through this I and merging back into the same source. Dreams are coming and merging back into the same consciousness. A state of deep sleep, a state of no perception is arising and coming back, going back into the same ocean of consciousness. So it is not some distant phenomenon, it's not some distant appreciation or knowledge, it's something very much experiential. You just have to recognize it. Tattvameva na sandehaha. Your true nature is this consciousness alone. Tattvameva na sandehaha. Chinmurte vijvaro bhava. Ashtavakra is telling, you are this consciousness without any doubt. Appreciate this fact. Na sandehaha. Do not have any doubt regarding this. Chinmurte. He's telling, addressing, hey, you are made up of consciousness. Your consciousness itself. Pujya Swamiji used to tell, nowhere in the world you are praised to this extent. Only in Vedanta you are addressed as "O consciousness." In our regular life, what are we addressed? Like, "Oh stupid one," "Hey idiot," "useless." If the wife doesn't call a husband useless on his face, she will tell, when she calls her mother or sister, she'll tell, "What useless thing I got into." So this is what we get called in the world. It's only in Vedanta. Or you go to other religious traditions, they call you, "Oh sinners, seated in front of me, oh sinners, papis." So sometimes in religious context also this kind of thinking has come. That's why whenever I go to temples in South India, part of the organization that I head, when I go to some of our temples, I go into the Garbhagriha to do the Harati to Bhagavan after the puja. And then the Harati is finished. Now the priests take the Harati from my hand to give it to all the other devotees who have assembled. And then I take the flower to offer to Bhagavan. Immediately the priests start chanting "Papoham Papa Karmanam Papatma Papa Sambha." I say stop. I have to be, I get into a zone of meditativeness to pray for the entire world. Immediately the priest at Papoham Papa Karmanam, I have to come out of that zone and say stop. Because nowhere in Sanatana Dharma, in Vedas, literature you see, nowhere you are called as a papi. Nowhere we are called as papi. Somebody made up this shloka. Somebody knows Sanskrit and they made up this shloka. What is the shloka? Papoham. Aham papaha. I am papa itself. I am sin itself. I am papatma. My nature is of sin. Papa Sambhava, I keep doing sins and I am born of sin. No. So not at all. If at all anybody, South Indians sometimes have this orientation. If at all this orientation is there to chant this shloka after puja during pradakshina, stop it. Veda addresses you as Saumya. Oh, good looking one. Veda addresses you as Bhadra, auspicious one. So when rishis are addressing as "Oh auspicious one," "Oh Saumya," the one who is of good natured. So when rishis are using, and Tata, "Oh son," or it is addressing as "Oh child" to all of us, then why call ourselves papi? That would be a blatant sin to chant this mantra. So we don't need all that. So tattvameva na sandehaha chinmurte. Hey chinmurte, oh consciousness itself, vijvaro bhava. Come out of this fever of samsara. There is always feverishness. What is that feverishness within? What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? What will happen to me? What will happen to me? I keep telling this in satsangs. What will happen to others, the same thing will happen to us also. We are so special or what? Whatever is going to happen to the whole humanity is going to happen to us also. Anything different? Is it going to be any different? No, it's going to be the same. The way it unfolds may be different, that's all. So that way, whatever is going to happen to everyone, the same thing is going to happen to us also. No need to have this feverishness in life. Vijvaro bhava, vijvaro bhava. Anyways, life is a play. So something will happen. In fact, an illiterate, uneducated, simple, humble farmer knows this truth in a certain area of Bharat. A lady, illiterate, selling vegetables, uneducated all her life, knows this truth she does not have any samsara. She has, in her whole life, she has not even chanted Omkara probably, but has this understanding. This understanding. What we need is not words. What we need is this understanding. No insecurity at all. No insecurity, no jvara at all. Take life as it comes. That a crop, for that season, entire crop is failed. She has an understanding what to do. This is how life is. This is my lot. Maybe next year it will be fine. She goes on with her life. The vegetables are not sold that day which she was carrying on her head. She comes back home, cooks something out of it, shares that vegetable with her community, neighbors, and say, this is my lot today. It will get spoiled if I just keep it for myself. Let me just give it away. And then start fresh, start a new day. No jvara at all. Is she living a life of irresponsibility? No. She is most hardworking person ever known. Does she have a very loose attitude towards future? No. She has a very objective attitude towards her future because she's planning for the next season, what to grow, how to gather seeds, when to till the land, when to sow, when to water, everything. So it's a possibility to live life without feverishness. Do you want real examples? Come with me to the Bangalore. We will go to one of the apartment buildings and then maids come to help out in household chores. If she doesn't like you, she'll say, I'm quitting from tomorrow. Why tomorrow? I'll say, I'll quit from today. And then she slams the dosa tawa and walks out. So, no feverishness. No fever. Is she irresponsible? No. She's raising 3 kids. Very hardworking. No jvara at all. In fact, we somehow seem to be beating the very paradigm that with which we are living. More the resources, more security must be there inside. More the resources with us, more insecure as if we become. So we have to come out of that jvara. We have to come out of that jvara. That's what Ashtavakra is indicating here. Moving further. Yatvam pashyasi tatrekaha. Yatvam pashyasi tatrekaha. Tvameva pratibhasate. Tvameva pratibhasase. Tvameva pratibhasase. Kim prithak bhasate swarnaha. Kim prithak bhasate swarnat. Katakangadanupuram. Yatvam pashyasi tatrekaha. Tvameva pratibhasate. Tvameva pratibhasase. Now, Ashtavakra is asking us to develop or do this sadhana and finally reach this point of understanding where you are not interested or you are not so involved in seeing Nama Rupa, but what comes first to your mind is this common thread of Sat and Chit. I am Sat and Chit. And that Sat and Chit is manifesting in everything that we see and look. So, Ashtavakra is telling, Yatvam pashyasi, whatever you see, wherever you see, at that place or that object itself, you are present. You're only seeing yourself. So when you take physicality, it seems like a ridiculous claim. That's why in the history of Sanatana Dharma also, these great Mahatma, self-realized people, were looked upon as mad people in the society. There was one great sage in South India, Sadashiva Brahmendra. He has composed great works on Advaita. During his lifetime, he was considered as a madman because he was singing these great verses containing Vedantic truth. Because society could not understand his words, he was termed as madman. Why? Because suppose this Ashtavakra is singing this verse, just imagine. Yatvam pashyasi tatrekaha tvameva pratibhasase. Wherever you see, whatever you see you alone. What a mad statement. What an outlandish statement to make. But if you understand, if you can appreciate what the Rishi is saying, the Rishi is saying that wherever you see, in whatever you see, may you recognize this principle of Sat and Chit, which is you, which is you. Now we did not discuss another term associated with Atma, that is Sat, Chit, Ananda. My guru gave an easy name for me, Sachidananda. Otherwise, sometimes we have so many sannyasis, the names become complex. First, the simple names are all taken, because first 10 years, whoever got initiated, they all got easy names. Satyananda, Sadananda, things like that. And then the names go on becoming complicated. Then it's not like the teachers go on calculating which name to give. It is said whatever comes to the guru's mind at that moment of initiation, the guru utters that name for the sake of transaction. That name is uttered. Every name is pointing out to Atma Tattva only, ultimately, simple or complex. So how do we understand Ananda, our own true nature, to be Ananda? One is through logic. I told you already that if dukkham, if sorrow were to be your real nature, you should have been very comfortable in life. No need to seek, no need to come to ashrams, no need to go to temples. If it is sorrow, oh my God, so glad I have sorrow. It's my real nature now. No, nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. If we want to get rid of the sorrow immediately. So through this logic and inference, you can really know that one's true nature is not Ananda. Now, rishis use another word to explain what Ananda is. They substitute another word for Ananda for us to understand, and that word is Ananta. Ananta means limitless. If you see, anything in the world is limited. The glass of water is here and its periphery is limited. It is here but it is not there. So limited. It is of this height, not of this height. Limited. It is of this shape, not of any other shape. Limited. It's of this color, not of any other color. Limited. But now, look at the Sat and Chit. I am, I exist. And then I'm aware of this existence. What is the shape of this? Is there a shape to it? No. Shape limits an object. No shape. Height limits an object. Does it have an height? This existence principle that I am, does it have a height? No. Color, taste, no attributes at all. Thus limitless. Thus limitless. So Shastra explains why we call our true nature as Ananda is because it is limitless. And see, in life also, you must understand, no limited thing gives you everlasting happiness. Limited thing gives only limited happiness. Ice cream is a limited thing gives you limited happiness. The very tasty chocolate pudding that I received yesterday is limited and it gave limited happiness. Any beautiful anything you engage with is limited and gives you limited pleasure. So if we are looking for permanent, in-depth happiness, what gives you is your own Swarupa. It is, in fact, we tend to lose words when we want to talk about it because it's your own Swarupa. Gives, receives, experiences, all these words fall short. You are that. You are that. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. So, Ashtavakra is saying, wherever you see, whatever you see, you are seeing yourself alone. And he is raising sort of a question. Can anklets, bracelets, gold ring, gold earring, gold chain, can all of it be different than gold? No. They are in essence gold itself, nothing else. Everything else, every ornament, every earring, in and through it is gold alone. Similarly, the entire creation, even though appears different, even though appears multiple, but in essence is consciousness or Sat Chit alone. There is nothing else. So just another 2 verses remaining. We'll have a small overview and conclude. Ayam soham ayam naham vibhagamiti satyaja miti santyaja vibhagamiti santyaja sarvamatmeti nishchitya Nisankalpas sukhi bhava. So from this place of Sat and Chit, understand and give up, this is what I am, this I am not, this is not that, this is not this kind of agraha nigraha, come out of this paradigm and recognize that it is one consciousness flowing everywhere. In that way, oneness. Everything is me alone in the base of it. And without these distinctions, without these categories in your mind, may you live happily ever after. That is what Ashtavakra is saying. Crux of this verse is to recognize oneself in everything as Sat and Chit, not as this body, not as this mind. It is an impossibility. Only in terms of consciousness we are able to recognize that. Tatvaiva jnanato vishvam tvamekah paramarthataha Tvattonyo nasti samsari na samsari cha kaschana. Very beautiful verse. Ashtavakra is telling, only in the state of ignorance, only when we do not know the truth, only when we have not analyzed the world, everything seems to exist. Everything seems to be real. Dream seems to be real. Loss seems to be real. Birth seems to be real. Promotion seems to be real. Praise seems to be real. Censure seems to be real. Everything seems to be real when we do not know the truth. But in reality, all that exists really is you, meaning Sat and Chit. You as consciousness alone exist. Everything else is phenomenon. And apart from you, apart from you, you meaning, he is meaning consciousness here, not the person at all. Apart from this Sat and Chit, there cannot be, there is no samsara at all. There is no samsara at all. May you appreciate this fact. So there is no samsara beyond you. There is no samsara within you also. Apart from you, nothing exists. Samsara has no place at all. If at all, where is the place of samsara? It is there in the mind. And if you want to be a samsari, you have to get attached to that mind. Only then there is samsara. Once you create this gap between this body, mind, senses and yourself, there is no samsara whatsoever. End of samsara. End of all troubles, all sorrow. One comes to realize and dwell in one's own being. So that's the whole crux of these verses that we have chosen in Ashtavakra Gita. May these verses help you break apart from the chains of samsara. I hope these verses have had a transformative effect on you, and I hope there has been a growth in understanding towards a better clarity. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.